Hi, my name is Maggie Martin, and I did my research paper on Frederick Douglass. And after I present my paper, I will read his speech. Here we go. Frederick Douglass, born Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey, was a leading abolitionist during the pre-Civil War period. Born into slavery in Maryland around 1818, he spent many years of his life being passed around family members and slave masters. Once he ended up in Baltimore, his slave master's wife, Sophia Auld, taught him the alphabet when he was 12. Hugh Auld, Sophia's husband, did not approve of the teaching. Instead, it gave slaves the desire of freedom. Douglass learned literacy from the white children in the neighborhood and later taught himself how to read and write. Douglass credits the Columbian Orator, an anthology about human rights, to his strengthened beliefs and freedoms for the American slave. In 1837, Douglass met and fell in love with a woman named Anna Murray, a freed slave in Baltimore who ignited the fire to Douglass's beliefs. A year later, in 1838, after several failed attempts, he managed to successfully escape his master at the time, Edward Covey, by boarding a train on its way to the northern cities. Douglass made his way to New York after a long day of traveling and sent for Anna to join him. They were married 12 days later. Douglass gave his speech in Rochester, New York. During this time in 1852, there was a tremendous amount of hostile tension between the abolitionists, free soldiers, and the slave-holding South. Douglass serves as a representation for all American slaves. They believed that this day did not apply to them. For white people, it meant independence and celebration. Black people had nothing to celebrate. Throughout his life, he became a preacher, would often give speeches about his anti-slavery movement, expressed the importance of women's suffrage, and started an anti-slavery newspaper called the North Star. His work is critically acclaimed and often taught in history classrooms. His speeches have stood the test of time and have shaped the futures of African Americans forever. So that was the research paper, and now we'll read the speech. Fellow citizens, pardon me, allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in the Declaration of Independence extended to us? And am I, therefore, called upon to bring our humble offering to the national altar and to confess the beliefs and express devout gratitude for the blessings resulting from your independence to us? I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not me. The sunlight that brought life and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn. To drag a man in fetters into the grand illuminated temple of liberty and call upon him to join you in joyous anthems were inhuman mockery and sacrilegious irony. Do you mean, citizens, to mock me by asking me to speak today? Fellow citizens, above your national tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions, whose chains heavy and grievous yesterday are today rendered more intolerable by the jubilee shouts that reach them. At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument is needed. Oh, had I the ability, and could I reach the nation's ear, I would, today, pour out a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, the earthquake. The feeling of the nation must be quickened, the conscience of the nation must be roused, the propriety of the nation must be startled, the hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed, and its crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced. That was the speech. Thank you for watching.